in any event, deep stakes. It often happens at the end of the process if the top of the ticket is not 100% confident in their choice. You sometimes have a process in which they start to waver and they start to think about the other possibilities. And the weirdness of this one was she's only now meeting with the people, and that means that there's different dynamics going on. John Fetterman, according to Politico, has now reached out to her people and said, don't pick Shapiro. We've seen this drumbeat of stories, opposition research fueled stories about Shapiro. I still think it'll be him, but it's a little bit fluid, a little bit unclear now to me exactly what's going on. But the opposition is out there. And Senator Kelly, who I had been very high on, but was told was out of the running, now, according to one source, is back in. So we'll revisit this probably tomorrow, but something weird's going on. And again, I think it's just largely the kind of buyer's remorse that often happens at the end. You'll recall 4 years ago, Joe Biden was planning to pick Harris, and he got lobbied very heavily right at the end not to pick her. And so there was a little bit of a hiccup there, but eventually it all came back in and he picked her. And that's what I think is going to happen here. But that's fluid. Trump rally tonight. Probably the most significant things, I think, is three things. One is Vance spoke extremely briefly. It was jarring how quickly he turned things over to Trump. Two, Trump was more disciplined than normal by his standard of staying on the message they want to stay on, which is the Biden-Harris record and that she's liberal and incompetent. But what really has Republicans talking is he spent a fair amount of time going after Governor Kemp, something he does on a regular basis, and it makes establishment Republicans crazy because they like Governor Kemp and they need Governor Kemp to help win the election. Governor Kemp has regularly turned the other cheek when attacked by Donald Trump and focused on saying he wants all Republicans to win. But at this late stage, which is a couple months to go, attacking Governor Kemp, it really has pissed off a lot of Republicans, and it comes at a time, obviously, when there's doubts in senior levels of the party about the Trump campaign and how they're doing, and this is not going to help with those people. Donors like Governor Kemp, other governors like him, members of Congress like him for the most part, and of course, Donald Trump's complaints about him all have to do, in reality, and most of what he says have to do with the last election and his view that Governor Kemp didn't do a good enough job stealing the election, and that's again makes a lot of Republicans crazy. On the debates, Donald Trump now has said he'll only do a Fox debate on his terms. The Democrats say they're only doing the ABC debate. I don't know where that's going to end up because there's no way to split that baby. I had been told that the campaigns were talking. They've given a sort of a legalistic response saying there's no negotiations going on, but I do think there are talks and it could be resolved the way it was last time. But right now they're at loggerheads. And then finally, this Daily Mail story about Doug Emhoff is really behind the scenes destabilizing the Harris campaign. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but it's certainly at a minimum, it's a distraction for them this weekend.